Hello, I'm Robin Wichelle with the Bahamas Weekly, and we're on location here at the Westin and Sheraton at Our Lucaya, Grand Bahama Island in the beautiful Bahamas. Over the course of this weekend, the Bahamas Weekly had the opportunity to interview both Susan Taylor of Essence Magazine, as well as Iyanla Vanzant. So I'll take you now to Lyndah Wells for the Bahamas Weekly with Susan Taylor.
I'm Lyndah Wells with the Bahamas Weekly, and we're sitting here at the Westin Hotel with Susan Taylor, who is here for the Awakening Spiritual Conference. Can you just tell us a little bit more about your participation in this?
Well, Iyanla Vanzant is a friend and just a spiritual guide, and she talked about doing this for a few years, and I just said, absolutely, I'm in, and there's no way that I would miss it. And my real joy is that my daughter is with me, and that we've just had these just marvelous few days together here on the beautiful island with the beautiful water and sky, and women primarily, a few men, but we're coming back next year.
Great.
And we know that next year we're going to probably have 5 times as many people.
Your parents originally from the Caribbean, aren't
Yes,
they?
my mother was from Trinidad, and my grandmother was from Barbados, and my father from St. Kitts.
How did you get involved with Essence Magazine?
I started a cosmetics company, and Essence was looking for a beauty editor. And so I felt that, I could do that, not knowing anything about what a beauty editor does. But when you're 23, 24, you believe you can do anything.
That's true.
And so I stepped into the editor-in-chief's office, applied for the job, and she gave me an opportunity to be a freelance beauty editor. And then I became the beauty editor, then fashion and beauty editor, then editor-in-chief and editorial director until I left last year. But what made Essence so very special was that it was black-owned. And 4 black men started Essence, and it began in about 1968. The first issue came out in 1970. And it was really, we all grew up together. I was 24 years old when I joined and learned how to not only take photographs, but certainly how to style them and how to create covers. So I created all of the covers for the first, maybe from Essence's 2nd year until its 10th year. As the fashion and beauty editor, that's what I did.
And do you have a favorite that comes
cover?
to mind?
Oh my goodness, probably the one with my daughter on it. When I became the editor-in-chief of Essence, I had only a high school diploma. I hadn't been to college yet. And I was so nervous to write anything because I was really following in the wake of a magnificent mind, Marcia Ann Gillespie. And I always loved to call her name because she really created the foundation that I built upon. And I didn't want to write an editorial, and I said that to our publisher, and he said, no, you must. The readers must get to know you. And I said, well, what would I ever write about? And I thought, let me write about what I know and what I want to know more about, what I'm really curious about. And it's the interior life, our interior world. And that's how In the Spirit was given birth to.
Are you planning, are you writing something else for your audiences? Should we expect anything coming soon?
Yeah, I am writing, but I probably won't do a book. Right now, what I want to do are audio, not tapes, but CDs and downloadable material. I feel that there are some things that I want people to know every day. I call them confirmations, things that we need to hold on to. And my core philosophy is that we have everything we need within us, and that's where we have to look. But we live in a society that always pushes us outside of ourselves. So we're always comparing ourselves to everybody else, wondering about the external world, when the joy and the peace and the love and perfection is within us. When I joined Essence, I was really a struggling single mother. And life was, relatively, when I think back and not having, wondering if I could keep the lights on and food on the table, that's not my experience today. God has blessed me abundantly. And I feel that I owe the rest of my life and my resources and my philanthropy to my community. So that's what I'm doing full-time, the National Cares Mentoring Movement. We're in 53 cities around the country in the United States. There's a real call for us to be throughout the Caribbean.
How could I be a mentor? What would I have to do?
Well, we're asking people to really drop their buckets wherever they live. Wherever there are children in crisis, if you're in that community, if it's in the community contiguous to yours or nearby, form a group. Maybe you and, say, 5 of your friends could work with girls who may be in like a group home, or girls who maybe whose families couldn't take care of them. And just every week you go and you give 1 hour of your time speaking to them, encouraging them. Encouraging them to stay in school, to go on and get some training so they can take care of themselves, to not become mothers before they're emotionally and financially and spiritually ready. You may mentor in a school. Literacy is a major issue. We have to really boost the literacy and numeracy ability of our young people, or we're not going to be able to compete. And so there are so many ways in which we can mentor young people coming out of incarceration. Nobody wants to hire them, so it doesn't give them a chance to really transform their lives. So my movement, the National Cares Mentoring Movement, is not for those whom we're sending off to college. Those youngsters are doing fine. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the ones who've lost their way, and whose parents aren't able to fend for them. So it's the National Cares Mentoring Movement. People can log on to caresmentoring.com and learn all about it.
Great. Thank you very much,
You're
Susan.
Welcome. This is Susan Taylor, and I am so excited to be here in Freeport on Grand Bahama Island. And tomorrow, my friend Mario Williams is going to give me a tour of this exquisite island. I've enjoyed the food and the people and the exquisite art that I've seen, the beautiful clothing, the colors, the foliage. But primarily, it's really the spirit that's here on the island, and we'll be back next March with our spiritual conference, Awakening, and we hope that next year all the Bahamians are going to come and join us here. I'll be looking for you.